and in this class we will look at how to convert from base 16 to base 10. Now, in the previous classes we already looked at how to convert from base 10 to another base, but in this case we're looking at how to go back to base 10 from any base. So basically, in this specifically here, we will be looking at 16. So if we have an example of 3f base 16 to base 10. Now in this case, what we try to do is we take this number and then we try to label the number from backwards to the, basically from right to left, basically. So we take 0 first, and then we take 1 here. And then what we do next is we'll just basically take the base, which is here, right? And then we will take it and, raise to the power of the first case, and then say times 3, and then say like 16, which is also the base, is raised to the power 0 times f. So in this case, we know the first case is 16 times 3, and then the second one is 1 times f. And then we put it in a bracket, and this is 48 plus f, which is 15. We know that this is 15, and then we say this is 15. And then we know that the answer here is 63 base 10. So base 10 is basically our number, so it's also fine if we keep it. Now to double check our answer, we could try to revert back to base 16. And then when we try to do this, we will go the root of division. And then in the root of division, then we say 16. So in this case, 16 into 63 is going to give you 3 raised to power, and remainder. So this will be 15 basically. And then when we go to 16, we discover that this is 0, and then it's remainder 3. And then here we can see this is f in the language of base 16, and so we have 3f16, which is basically our number where we started from the beginning. So the idea here is to find, to basically number the numbers, and like basically here at this point, this is very the important part of the whole question. So what you do here is basically numbers, put the numbers from back to the front like that. In cases where you have like some kind of decimal, then you also move this number in this direction, -1, -2. But in this case, you don't have it, so you don't have to worry about that, right? So, and then when you get the numbers, so what you're doing is you're taking this part, and then you will take the base, and then this is the base, this is the base. So you take the power, and you make it like to the power, and then you multiply it by the number here. So basically like that. And then you can also do the same for the f part, and then you can go ahead and expand, and then you get your answer. So this is like a very, very good approach. We could also still do one more, and before we call it quit. So in this one, what we will do is just take like maybe 2AC, right? So here we're doing 2AC. So in 2AC, which is basically 16 to base 10. So first and foremost, we know that C is C in base 16 is equal to maybe like this thing is equals to 12, and A is equals to 10. So when we start, we say 2AC, and then we say 0, 1, 2, right? And in this 0, 1, 2, what we are doing basically here is saying this is 16, and then we take this 16, and then we take the raised to power 2, and then we put a plus, and then we say 16 raised to power 1, and then we can put a plus, and then we say 16 raised to power 0. Sorry, I just need to make better use of this space because it's a lot of space. And then we can, so when we're trying to break it out, we could say 16 raised to power 2, and then we say plus 16 raised to the power 1, and then we say plus 16 raised to the power 0, because these are the cases that we find here, right? So in this case, this is what we find here, and that's why we have 2, 1, 0. And then we can now say we multiply by the individual cases here, right? 1, 1, and then here we're just saying times 2 times A times C. Now we have 16 times 16, which is 16 raised to the power. This is 256, and this is 5, 1. This is 256 times 2, and then we put it in the bracket, and then this is 16 times A. A is 10, so it's 16 times 10, and then we say this is 16 raised to the power 0, which is 1, times C, which is 12. And then here we could go ahead and expand, which is 512 plus 160 plus 12. And then you have your final answer, which is something around 4, 7, and then 6. So this is 6, 7, raised to base 10. And this is the way to convert from base 16 to base 10. We'll catch you in another one when we are basically also looking at how to convert base 8 to base 10. Thank you.